going to be poisoned, and I will not have access to my culture, like my ancestors have had for centuries. I am angry that your government claims to want to focus on reconciliation and righting the wrongs of the past, yet you allow these colonial practices to continue today. I am angry that you push food security measures and encourage us to eat country food, yet you allow corporations to poison our traditional food sources. I am upset that my future children will not get to hunt and fish with their grandparents like I got to, because we will not know if our animals are safe to eat. I am upset that we have to wait mercury poisoning with keeping our cultures and traditions. I am upset that our brave land defenders are being arrested and locked up for peacefully protesting, as guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I am upset that I personally have to face a multi-billion-dollar crown corporation in Supreme Court for standing on the wrong side of the road while peacefully protesting. I am upset that 2 journalists have had their rights infringed upon and also face court proceedings for simply covering our stories. I am upset that a 96-year-old elder was also called to court. I am upset that you are allowing a crown corporation to abuse the Supreme Court in such a way to silence us. But most of all, I am tired of all of this. I am tired of the platitudes from your government about moving forward in your relationship with Indigenous people. Now is the time to walk the walk. Walk the talk?
Walk the talk.
It says walk the walk, but walk the talk. You need to step up and shut Muskrat down. Listen to Indigenous voices as we speak up. If you do not stop this project, if you do not prevent us from being poisoned, you are just the latest in the long line in our history of colonialism, and you have our blood on your hands once again. Your ancestors will be here 150 years from now, apologizing for your actions today and pleading once again for reconciliation. So please, fix this now before it gets worse. Shut down Muskrat Falls. Nakumek, Amy Norman.
Thank you. We have one other letter from Labrador, and it comes from Marjorie Flowers and Rhea. I'm going to ask if you can come over here, and we'll read the letter here, okay?
Okay.
To government officials, including First Ministers and Justin Trudeau, it will put lives in surrounding communities at high risk of drowning as part of the dam is compromised of quick clay, liquid mud. No study done to date by Newfoundland government to prove otherwise. Government continues to ignore the pleas of the people and world-renowned expert Stig Bernarder. He's a quick clay expert. $8 billion spent so far, now on the table for an independent audit, as overspending and mismanagement is at the forefront. $2.9 billion more to fix the problem will lead to disaster on all fronts. Many local workers coming off-site to talk of careless and reckless spending of mega dollars of our tax money. Methyl mercury has already been let go into Lake Melville because Nalcor refuses to clear the vegetation and topsoil. And the temporary dam, coffer dam, sprang an unmanageable leak that after a month is now supposedly coming under control with band-aid patch of jobs. An engineer sits in our land protector group. He is attending a meeting to plead with MP Yvonne Jones to do something about this imminent and catastrophic disaster. I guess, if human lives really don't matter, ignores his message. This is for Marjorie Flowers, Labrador Land Protector.
Thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put together our special holiday package for Justin Trudeau. And in that package, we have the letter from Marjorie.
Sorry.
No problem. And we're going to put the letter as well from Amy. Thank you. Right. Also, in this package, we have copies of a report from Harvard University. The Harvard University report was very clear in stating that Nalcor and the people behind Muskrat Falls are seriously underestimating the potential devastating impact of methyl mercury poisoning on not only Lake Melville, but the whole surrounding region, because methyl mercury bioaccumulates in the fish, in the animals, and eventually in the humans who have consumed them as part of their culture and heritage for thousands of years. In many ways, it is an act of genocide, and we cannot tolerate yet ongoing acts of genocide in this country. We also have report from the interim engineering report, which says that Muskrat Falls cannot be built because it's currently being built on the quicklime. So I have here a special package for Justin. It says Justin Trudeau, not Bieber, because sometimes people confuse the two. But nonetheless, we know they're both very popular, very good looking, and hopefully both have very big hearts. So I'm just going. Let's go up to the Prime Minister's office and see if we can deliver this. Yep. Come on up, folks. All right. Get this delivered to the Prime Minister. Oh. Hello, it's Santa Claus. How are you? Very good, sir. And I know that you're looking forward to seeing me on Christmas Eve, but I've got a very important present here for the Prime Minister, and I'm hoping I can deliver it to you.
Unfortunately, we can't accept anything from here, okay?
Well, I'm confused because Santa Claus is welcome. The Prime Minister's office just hung up on Santa Claus.
Oh no!
Something must be wrong when the Prime Minister's office is hanging up on Santa Claus. What could be going on here? Is it possible that there's a conflict of interest? Because after all, I understand Justin Trudeau approved a $3 billion loan guarantee for Muskrat Falls in October. A $3 billion. Is that why he doesn't want to read the truth about what's going on at Muskrat Falls? That's a terrible thing. Is it possible that he doesn't want to insult his friend Dwight Ball, who is here for the First Minister's meeting? You know that meeting, the one that they always exclude Indigenous leaders from? We don't know, but nonetheless, this is probably the first time I've ever been hung up on in my life, other than under Saddam Hussein's Iraq. Fancy that. I'm going to try one more time. Santa lives in hope. Why don't you go up here and show us your sign there so everyone can see it. And we are here as well because UNDRIP is an important document that all Canadians need to be familiar with because it speaks to free, prior, and informed consent, which must be sought and received before any project goes ahead that affects Indigenous people and their lands. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Muskrat Falls does not need a $3 billion loan guarantee. It needs safety guarantees. Hello? I have just been hung up on a second time. Is it possible that I've been writing bad checks in this town? I don't think so, because Santa Claus doesn't have any money. Now, when I wanted to give a message to Justin Trudeau, I also wanted to let him know that things are not good at the North Pole. And all of these mega projects are affecting the climate. We saw that with Fort McMurray this year. We are seeing this with all kinds of severe climate impacts. Who are the first people who are always impacted by climate change? Indigenous people around the globe. In fact, the indigenous people of the South Pacific are going underwater, and they have said, we cannot tolerate this at the expense of your lifestyle. And so there are so many victims of this process which is taking place around the globe, and people who say that they are against climate change, that they are for science, should not be afraid of reading a little bit of science. It seems pretty basic to me. Does it seem basic to you?
Yeah.
And I see a sign that says methyl mercury poison. No damn way. Shut Muskrat down. I also see something that says drop all the charges against Labrador Land Protectors. Do you know that over 50 people are facing court trials as a result of simply trying to protect the land and the water? That is truly criminal. And if Mr. Trudeau is going to give a message of peace and love and understanding this holiday season, one of the first things he can do is turn to his Premier Dwight Ball and say, you know what, you should drop those charges. Because with those charges, everyone affected has very strict conditions. They can no longer vigil peacefully in front of Muskrat Falls. And so, in a democratic country, when you are prevented from speaking out against the thing which could kill you, because what happens when you build a dam on quicklay? If it's in the wintertime and it breaks, a massive ice flow will go downstream and wipe out everybody in its path. If it's in the summertime, a massive flood will drown people and life forms all in the area as well. Muskrat Falls is a disaster. It must be shut down. And Muskrat Falls is not the only site of resistance. We actually have a falls just across the street here almost, called Chaudière Falls. And I'd like to invite Lindsay Lambert to briefly talk about why he's here, because there is a connection between Chaudière Falls and Muskrat Falls. Lindsay, you just click that and you'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you. The Ottawa is located at the confluence of the Ottawa River, the Gatineau, and the Rideau. This forms a natural medicine wheel, and this has been known for people for years. In fact, there's a representation of it on a pin on that gentleman's coat right there. No, hold on. But just upstream from the Chaudière, or the confluence of these great rivers, is or was the Chaudière Falls. Like it was the falls, like what people call the Chaudière Falls now is just the overflow from the Ring Dam. The historic Chaudière Falls were effaced and submerged with the construction of the Ring Dam in 1908. But this is a falls that was considered a second only to Niagara. And it's a sacred to the Algonquin and pre-Algonquin. People have been meeting here since for at least 5,000 years, and that's the archaeological record, and it's further back than that. This is an important and sacred meeting place. Although it was within Algonquin territory, it was agreed on as being neutral space where anybody could meet. People would come here. They'd camp on the riverbanks, leave their weapons behind, and canoe to the islands. There's Chaudière, Albert, and Victoria Islands just downstream to gather in peace. This is a place of communications and governance. It's a place without war. Might be unique in this world. But then what have the first European to write about the falls was Samuel de Champlain. When he came through in 1613, he witnessed people giving tobacco offerings and prayer to the falls. At the time, people called it aspicu, which means the boiler. He gave the current name of Chaudière, the kettle, which is a fair translation. A more current name for it is Atikpautik, which is the pipe bowl falls. The reason it is because it's regarded as the creator's first pipe. It has interesting features. The main feature is the big kettle. which is where the ring dam is surrounding now. And with that, the water comes into almost a full circle. It's a greater arc than the Horseshoe Falls of Niagara. The water, or the stone at the base, had over eons had warmed into a huge bowl. The water would flow in, swirl around, bubble up. There'd always be a mist on a bright summer's day. There'd be at least one rainbow in it. That is the Pipe Bowl. But then there are more features. There's a curtain fall that runs towards the Quebec side, which divides into two chasms, and around an island. And one of the chasms, there's an area that was completely encased with stone, and the water would flow in, but it wouldn't come out again. It was going through an underground passage and appearing further down the river. This is the pipe stem.
Somebody's coming.
Hello there. How are you? I'm just here to present a package to the Prime Minister. Won't happen. Would you not? It's not going to happen? I don't understand why people don't seem to have much Christmas cheer here in Ottawa. Do you?
No, not at all.
I want to thank you for that lovely overview of the fact that here in Ottawa, in this area, we are continuing to face a struggle as well. 1 second here. Now, we'd like to just present this to you. Can you take this in to see Justin Trudeau? I thought this was supposed to be an open government. I'm not sure what's going on. However, I understand that there is one potential other entry point. To all of you elves and supporters of Muskrat Falls, would you like to try the other entry point? Yes. Let's go try the other entry point, shall we? Okay. It's just around the other side of the building. And let's go see if they'll take it there. We're not going to let a couple of Scrooges turn us around, are we?
Juste dans la tête, là, dans les années 70, c'était Trudeau, mange la masse. On était des muletiers sur le bord du métro.
I've delivered here before. You're a kind man, I know that. I'm just going to put my Santa sack down here. Now, I just want to let you know what's being delivered here so that you're not afraid. I know you're probably not afraid of Santa Claus, but inside here we have some important documents for the Prime Minister that deal with how dangerous the Muskrat Falls project is and we want the Muskrat Falls project to be shut down. The Prime Minister needs to see about the poisoning by methyl mercury. He needs to see that building a dam on quick clay, which can move, is not safe. It could result in a catastrophic break. And ultimately, he needs to hear from the people on the ground. We have here a list of over 50 individuals, people who are Inuk, settlers, Métis, who are all facing charges as a result of standing up for the land and for the water. And so I'd like to present this as well as this to you. And also in here, we have a letter from a 12-year-old girl named Autumn Peltier, who tried to deliver it to Prime Minister Trudeau at the Assembly of First Nations earlier this week. She was not able to do so, but it spoke to her hope that as an elder, she will not have to have spent her life fighting for the environment and to stop climate change. So may I present this to you to give to the Prime Minister, sir?
Right. We're going to put that envelope into the mail reception right there.
Into the mail reception, okay. That's a heavy mail reception, very good. So this is coming to Justin Trudeau, not Justin Bieber. Make sure it's the right Justin. And how do we get this into you?
Oh, here.
Okay, oh, it's almost like it's built.
It's built for us.
For all of you who are back home, in Labrador, in Nitassinan, wherever you are, your names are going into the Prime Minister's office with the demand that you be let free, that you are given the right to speak up, to act, to protect the land, the water, and future generations, as well as your ancestors' land as well. So this is going in now to the Prime Minister's bin, and we trust that it's nice and warm in there, and that there will be justice, and all will soon be free, and Muskrat will be shut down. Ho, ho, ho! And Merry Christmas to all. Have a good night. All right. I'm sorry? It's locked. Very good. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This has been...
Can you sing your song again?
Oh, we're going to sing our song one more time.
I don't have my...
Okay, I've got lyrics. I've got our lyrics. Oh, you know what? The lyrics went into the Justin bag. I gave him some lyrics. Does everyone have their lyrics? Let's see.
I can share with somebody.
Okay, we've got, so let's get together and share the song. It's called Trudeau The Tear-Duct, and we appreciate that he feels things very deeply. But there's a difference between sentiment and compassion. And when you feel compassion, you will feel compelled to act, to make things right. So let's, does everybody have the song?
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to lead the song?
Where's Rhea?
Rhea?
Okay,
Ready?
there we go. 1, 2, 3.
Trudeau the Tear-Duct, he is such a selfie guy. He's so sensitive that he shouldn't give $3 billion for a dam. Muskrat's a nightmare, and their wolves keep screaming weeds. When you look on Fred, there's just no way to stop the tips and trees. There must be some corruption in the PMO, it seems. SNC and the methyl mercury schemes. So shut down the Muskrat, keep the waters wild and free. There's a better way here where people say and respect democracy. Drop the charges, let protectors go. Drop the charges, let protectors go. Hey!
Now, I would love to hang around with all of you here tonight, but I've got to get back to the North Pole because I've only got 2 weeks before I come back. So I'd like everyone to turn towards the camera over here for people who are watching live back in Labrador and send your love and your support and your solidarity. Everyone wave and let's cheer on. All right. And we are signing off from Ottawa. Thank you so much. All right.